We're gonna have to eat this cake by ourselves. Your Uncle Joey didn't make parole again.
You're listening to 91 Reasons, a journey into the twisted landscape of pop culture. Keep your hands and arms inside the podcast at all times. And now, the voice, Jeff Tucker.
Well, I'm driving in the car. I've only done one other episode in the car. That was years ago. We were still in Riverside. That was the review of Arthur I did in the car. But the radio is terrible. There is nothing on the radio. Even my salvation of talk radio, they decided to open the show with football talk, which... Football talk? Aren't we football talked out? Isn't the season over? Haven't we said everything? The Kansas City Chiefs had their parade today. That means it's over. Football is over. When I was a kid, this was one of the greatest moments of the year, the time football was over. Because the drunks would watch every friggin' football game on TV. And since we only had really one good TV in the house, that meant the TV was gone for the whole night. No beta tapes, no surfing the channels for something to watch, no MTV, just football. And I swear to God, they sometimes taped the football game to watch again. I used to have beta tapes where they had taped football games. I don't have them anymore. I wish I did. But around 2004 or 5, I started to purge all of my videotapes and get rid of them. So, of course, 15 years later, I'm lamenting that and wishing I had kept them. But there's nothing on the radio. What happened to the radio? And who gets to decide what songs you play on the radio? Who are these people? Is there somebody in an office somewhere that decides what defines the decade? And what I mean by that is, when in the 80s, there was a big push to revive the 50s. You know, Back to the Future was part of that. Peggy Sue Got Married was part of that. Disneyland had Blast of the Past. They had a lot of 50s stuff. 50s nostalgia was running high because there's that 30-year cycle where things keep repeating. And my mother would always tell me, because I'd go, well, Mom, we know what the 50s were like. And we'd show her all the poodle skirts and the sock hops and the jukebox and the Elvis Presley. And my mother would go, there was a lot more to the 50s than what they're selling you. And we didn't believe it. And then lo and behold, here we are. And 80s nostalgia is running high and bleeding into 90s nostalgia. But 80s nostalgia is running rampant. You go into any casino, and that's all they play in Vegas and supermarkets. You know, when they start playing your music as background music to get you to stay there, that you are officially freaking old. So I am old. Because when I started going to casinos in the early, mid-90s, they played 70s. So I guess this is just what I get for mocking all those 70s bands, and now we're getting the 80s bands. But if they played all of the music from the 80s, a variety of which, if you look back, sometimes I listen to Casey Kasem on the weekends, and he'll play songs you go, oh my God, I remember, I haven't heard that song in years, and they're usually by big artists, and you're like, what happened? Who gets to decide what songs get to endure? And how do you get on that list? And I know there's probably something to do with music rights, and I'm not hip on all that. I'm not hip to all the music rights. And I know, like, when I was a kid, I would wonder, like, how come they play some songs off the album and some they don't? Because they release some as singles and then some that they don't. And, sometimes the B-sides get played on deep cut record radio shows. But for the most part, a lot of 80s music has been abandoned, lost to time by somebody in a corporate office who is decreed. They pick an artist, they pick a band or they pick an artist, and they decide, like, these are the songs that this artist gets to have in rotation. And for Prince, it's 1999, Raspberry Beret, sometimes Purple Rain, sometimes When Doves Cry, and then occasionally they play Kiss, but that's it. Prince has no other music according to the radio. Zero. Thieves in the Temple, Diamonds and Pearls, You Got the Look, Controversy, there's a lot of Prince songs that are amazing that I have heard on the radio. Even what I consider one of the biggest ones, but because it's a novelty record, they're not going to play Bat Dance on the radio unless they're doing some sort of cheesy, it's the wacky 80s weekend and we're playing all the songs you don't remember. Well, I do remember. You guys just don't play them. And I don't understand. And if a band has a movie out, then God bless you, man. Because I tell you what, I like Queen as much as the next guy. I think they're an amazing band. But I'll tell you, they need to never play a Queen song on the radio again unless it's one of their deep cuts, man. If I have to hear Bohemian Rhapsody one more time, like I went through the Wayne's World period. You know, they played it a lot back then. Now, oh my God, they just play it over and over. Another one, Bites the Dust, is played every hour on the freaking hour. That movie came out, and it just solidified that they have to play Queen and play Queen, more Queen. Same with Elton John. Once Rocket Man hit, I'll tell you what, again, I think Tiny Dancer's a great song. That scene in, what's the Cameron Crowe movie about the Rolling Stone guy, Almost Famous? That scene where they play Tiny Dancer on the bus is great. Tiny Dancer's a great song. I don't want to hear it anymore. I am tired of hearing Tiny Dancer. They could let Tiny Dancer freaking die for all I care. Tiny Dancer, sometimes they play Rocket Man, but I'll tell you, it is Tiny Dancer for the win. And you know who's got a big stable of popular songs? Elton freaking John. He's got a massive stable. Your song, I'll run out because Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, I'm Still Standing. He's got massive hits. The movie played them, but they don't play them on the radio. And again, I don't know if that's a rights thing or a decision by the bands themselves. I have no idea. All I know is they don't play them on the radio. They just don't play a variety. You know, the B-52s, they play Love Shack. Oh, they play Love Shack so many times that I get triggered when I see an actual Shack. Or when people talk about Shaq, the football player, all I hear is Love Shack. And then at Knott's during the Christmas show, we played Santa's Toy Sack. You ever heard the Toy Sack? Where the guy goes, "This sack's heavy." Like, no. 80s songs, man. You know, I lived through the 80s. I was there when AHA made a big splash with Take On Me because the video was good. The video for Take On Me was groundbreaking. They spent a lot of cash on that video, and it looked amazing, and MTV played the hell out of it. They played it. But the song itself wasn't like at number one for 16 weeks. It was just another song during the 80s, and after they crapped out on the theme song for Living Daylights, and that AHA just faded away. They were a one-hit wonder of the 80s. I put them in the same bucket as Tommy Two-Tone with 8675309 and a lot of other bands that just had one hit. But for a lot of the radio doesn't play it, and the radio has decided. And I know I'm jumping all over the place. It's because I'm driving the car, so I apologize. But the radio is. It's weird what they pick and choose because they love new wave. Oh my God, Duran Duran! Like, are you kidding? I know that he's hungry like the wolf. I know that because he has told me 4 times today that he is hungry like the wolf, and that her name is Rio. I know that he's hungry like the wolf, and I know that her name is Rio, because the radio has told me. What I don't know is that they're either wild boys, that they're from planet Earth, or they light their torch for the new moon on Monday. Why? Because the radio don't play those songs. And those were big Duran Duran songs. View to a Kill was massive. Other bands just get... But at least Duran Duran gets played. Because some bands that I like, Huey Lewis, forget about it. Unless it's a rockin' 80s fantabulous weekend, they ain't playing Huey Lewis. They just ain't. It's weird. Sometimes you might hear If This Is It, but that's the only song they apparently had in the 80s. They didn't have Heart and Soul. They didn't have Do It All for My Baby. They didn't have Hip to Be Square. Now, see, I know these ones because I listen to them all the time. Apparently, it didn't happen. But whole genres get left out. They don't play any what I call bubblegum pop. They don't play Debbie Gibson. They don't play Tiffany. They don't play New Kids on the Block. They don't play New Edition. They don't play Belle Biv DeVoe. I find it so bizarre that entire music genres are just non-existent on current radio because there's some corporate entity deciding what gets played on the radio and what doesn't. And I wish I knew what the reasoning was for some of the decisions, because as a study of pop culture, I know that if I did compare it to movies, like, I know that, again, Target decimated their DVD section because they figured nobody's buying them. But there were certain 80s movies that got picked to get the crown of, you will now be sold forever. We will print you. And that's due to sales, I guess. It's due to sales. There's a reason I could walk into a Best Buy today and buy Back to the Future on Blu-ray. But I might have a hard time buying Time Bandits because it's just not as popular. But I don't know if that's the same for music, because some of the songs they play were not the biggest hits of those bands. Pat Benatar had other hits besides Heartbreaker, and there's one Pat Benatar song I can't hear that it starts with dun 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 dun. It actually makes me physically hurt. I don't know what it is about those tones, but I don't like it. But there's a lot of new wave and English bands. The Smiths are part of that 80s thing, but only How Soon Is Now. They had no other songs in the 80s, according to mainstream radio. K-Earth 101, which when I grew up was all 50s and is now 80s, but always they're oldies, so I'm old. Thank you, I knew that, but thank you, K-Earth 101, for confirming it. I listen to 99.9 Cola out of Riverside. They sometimes will play different songs. And let me ask you a question. When did Fleetwood Mac become the go-to band for every 10 seconds? Fleetwood Mac, man. I'll tell you, I am so sick of hearing Fleetwood Mac. I just turned the station. I'm sick of Fleetwood Mac. I'm sick of Michael Jackson. I'm sick of Def Leppard. Oh, God, Def Leppard. I didn't like him in the 80s. I don't like him now. You know who I didn't like in the 80s was NXS, but I actually like them now, but they don't play them. When was the last time you heard an NXS song on the radio? They were a big band. Need You Tonight, Devil Inside, those are big, massive songs. What do we get instead? We get Guns N' Roses. There is some idea about Guns N' Roses, man. I am so sick of Guns N' Roses. Oh my God. Now you'll excuse me, I have to order food for Josie.
How can I help you?
Hi, can I get 2 plain hamburgers and a small chocolate shake? It's a very healthy...
2 plain burgers and small chocolate shake?
Yes, very healthy for Josie.
Total is $6.22. First one.
Thank you. He got cheeseburgers. I don't want cheeseburgers. I wonder why it was so expensive. Is it cheeseburgers? He's probably going to correct it. He just gave me the evil eye as I drove around the corner. Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses. I was talking about Guns, because I don't want to talk about Def Leppard. Check about Def Leppard. Oh, we're at the window now. Hello. How much was it?
$6.22.
I saw on the screen it said cheeseburgers.
It did, but plain cheeseburgers.
Well, I don't want even. I just want hamburgers.
Oh, hamburgers? Okay.
Yeah. There's a difference. Gotta correct the order.
And did you want them plain?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure. Just gotta run and tell somebody. Which is good, as long as I get them plain. Because I hate when you order something plain and then they make it wrong. So you hand it back and you just see them throw it in the trash. I hate wasting food like that. Now I don't give it back. I just keep it. I just tell them, well, I'm keeping it now. Thanks for playing. Maybe you'll get it right next time. And you know why I do that? Because one time I came here and they got the order wrong 3 times. $3 times. It only went down like 25 cents. I thought cheese cost more than that. Shows you what I know, which is not much. Hope you're enjoying this interlude of getting Josie's food while I pick her up from school. I'm not going to be able to finish this episode in time to get her, so I'll have to edit with some do-do-do-do-do-do-do and then finish up. Thank you. He didn't say thank you or you're welcome. He just was taking another order, which I don't understand why you put that thing on your face and you don't say thank you. I don't understand. Oh well. Okay, now we're pulling up to get the food. This is riveting podcasting. This is slice of life riveting podcasting. The real tension, folks, is will they get the hamburgers plain? That is the real tension. Oh, the suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. There was a radio station in the late 80s, early 90s. Do you remember Pirate Radio? They came on and they were kind of the replacement. They tried to be the replacement for KMET after KMET went off the air. Pirate Radio. They were commercialless for like 2 weeks. They had no commercials, and they had Scott Shannon. Pirate Radio. Hello. Oh, you know what? Can I get it without the whipped cream? She's allergic to that.
Just the shake?
No, just take whipped cream off. Thank you. I never remember that they do whipped cream now here at McDonald's. Isn't that odd? Hey, the hamburger's plain, folks. We did it. We did it. We really did it. It's a banner day. It's beautiful. It is a banner day. It is, oh my gosh. Here's the rub, though. The street to get out of the McDonald's is clear because I'm stuck in the drive-thru, but by the time I pull out, it'll be filled with traffic. Thank you so much for doing that. All right. Now we are on our way. So Pirate Radio was this experiment they tried here in L.A. They wanted a new hard rock station because, like I said, KMET went off the air. I don't remember how late KNAC lasted. I know KNAC was like the heavy metal station. This was more of like heavy metal that you could listen to while your mom was in the room. You know, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard. They played a lot of Nirvana. You know, because Nirvana was at that point brand new. I remember playing Pirate Radio at Spencer's, so they lasted at least until 92. But Pirate Radio played a lot of Guns N' Roses because a lot of stations weren't playing Guns N' Roses. It was too hardcore, and with the hardcore stations actually gone, there was no outlet for Guns N' Roses. Now, I'm not saying they weren't a popular band. Mega popular. Mega popular. We sold a lot of Guns N' Roses t-shirts at Spencer Gifts, but they were not a giant radio band in any way, shape, or form. They were too hardcore for the radio. Too hardcore for the radio. And this idea that they were like top 40, I don't get it. And to that end, they play Sweet Child of Mine ad nauseum on the radio. As soon as I hear it, I turn it off. I can't take it. It was novel the first 1,000 times. It is not novel anymore. I can't take it. I'm sick of Guns N' Roses. I never want to hear them again. I was never a fan to begin with. I'm sick of hearing them. If you want to replace Guns N' Roses, replace them with Van Halen. You know, and not just what's the Van Halen equivalent of Sweet Child of Mine? It's got to be Panama, baby. You know, because if they played Panama and Hot for Teacher and some of the other lesser-known Van Halen hits, I'd be fine with that. And I guess what people are yelling at the podcast now is, well, Jeff, why aren't you just listening to KLOS? Well, I do try to listen to KLOS, but even KLOS, you turn it on, it's like, oh, they're playing Guns N' Roses again. Let's play some more Guns N' Roses. You know, fine. You can't win. you know. And for a while I had a satellite radio. I had Sirius satellite radio for Stern, and one of the byproducts of that was the 80's station. And the 80's station was pretty good. They did play a nice variety because they're not beholden to any sponsors or playlists, you know. But their big thing was, I don't know what it's like now because this was a few years back, but they would do station bumpers after every single song. So they would play one song and they go, "You're listening to the 80's on Sirius." Okay, great. Then another song would play and they go, "And this is the 80's. I get it, man. Oh my God, I get it. It's the 80's on Sirius, isn't it? Oh, it sure is. It still is. It didn't change." And they would just play them and play them and play them. Oh my God. They did it with comedy too. Raw Dog. Every time somebody would crack a joke, they'd go, "Raw Dog." Like, we get it, man. You don't have to ID the station every song cycle. Oh my God. The other funny thing about the radio today, you know, and you could talk about any number of bands and pick the two songs they play. When it comes to Phil Collins and Genesis, they play "In the Air Tonight." Man, I like "In the Air Tonight," but I don't want to hear it anymore. I just turn the station now. I turn this. These are songs that I grew up loving. "In the Air Tonight," "Hotel California," "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow." I just turn the station. I can't take it. It's so bad. Hey, there's Josie. Hey, Josie, where are your glasses?
Oh, it's just you? Where's Mom?
You don't see her? Maybe you should try wearing your glasses.
He said, "You don't see her, maybe wear your glasses."
No, it's just me.
Okay.
What are you doing? You gonna come through the window like the Dukes of Hazzard?
Sorry, Mom was hiding.
No.
Okay.
No. Oh my God.
Fine.
She won't get in the car, folks.
Okay.
She will not get in the car.
Bye,
Bye, Levi.
Georgia.
Hey, Levi, come here. Oh, Levi left. You're scratching up my car. I told you not to do that. What are you doing? You gotta flip it around.
It's fine.
You gotta flip the backpack around.
Fine.
Okay, you're on the air. We're doing 91
Oh,
Reasons.
no. Why would you do that to me?
Where are your glasses?
At home.
Oh,
I forgot them
okay,
today.
now I'm lost. Wait. You forgot your glasses?
I wasn't thinking this
You
morning.
didn't wear your
I
glasses?
wasn't thinking this morning. I don't have them.
It's not about thinking. You didn't go, "Things are really blurry."
It was morning time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were mourning somebody.
It was morning
Well, there's hamburgers
time.
there for you.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
a chocolate shake.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I know. I am Father of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm talking about the radio and how they only play the same 5 songs on the radio. What are the 5 songs that they play on the radio? Do you know? You know, because I get mad every time.
Hotel California.
Hotel California.
What's the one by Elton John?
Tiny Dancer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's funny because I've mentioned these exactly the songs I mentioned. Any others you can think of?
Not
There's a few
right
big
now.
ones you're missing.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know the one that goes, I didn't want to say it because it's horrible. She's got a smile that it seems to me
Oh, yeah.
reminds me of childhood.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. And here's the thing: they're good songs, but I'm tired of hearing them. Oh my God, the radio sucks.
No, trust me. I used to like listening to Matilda, but now that I hear it all day, every day, I'm like,
Oh yeah, you're in the Matilda musical. Have you figured out what part you're playing?
Yes, today.
Today you found it. You got definitive. It's not going to change
It's
tomorrow.
not going to change.
Because before you said it's either Eric or Erica.
And I stood my ground today. I was like, no, I'm a girl. And he was like, okay, then you're a girl.
So now you're Erica.
Yes.
Were you always Erica?
No, not till today.
There was a moment where you were Eric.
Mm-hmm.
But you stood your ground.
Yes.
That's good. Give us a plug. When does it open?
It opens March 14th. It's pretty cool. If you've never heard of Matilda, it's about a little girl who has superpowers, and she makes her horrible principal do stupid stuff because she has superpowers.
Is it part of the MCU or?
No.
Oh, it's not. It's separate.
And we all have British accents because we're all British because it's in England. That it
Why
takes
wouldn't they
place
just move the play to America for American kids?
Because
Or is part of the fun doing the accent?
it's part of the fun.
Yes.
Because it would be like, my mommy says I'm a miracle, other than my mommy says I'm a miracle. It's easier. It's fun. I like
Did you
it.
text your mother and let her know you're in the car?
Yeah.
And say there was no wait, that when I pulled up, you were already waiting? Because she'd go, well, how come you didn't text me when you got there?
I'm in car.
That's all you're doing. Out of all that, you're just, I'm in car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like being simple, getting straight
Now,
to the point.
you listen to 104.3. That is that Coast?
No, Coast is 103.5.
What is KBIG? It's funny because these radio stations, when I was growing up, Coast and KBIG were easy listening. They're like, you're coasting with Coast. And they would play like the Carpenters, you know. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Right? And then KBIG, now KBIG plays what? Panic at the Disco, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, all the popular
That
songs.
stupid song where that woman wants a guy to meet her in the middle.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
That's the
I'm
worst.
losing my mind. Or Friends. We're just friends. That was the same kind of song.
Oh, they're so bad. It's like that other dumb one where the woman would scream about how this was her fight song.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
But growing up, KBIG was the preferred radio station of offices. They would play KBIG, like, they would swivel it over to K104.3 and then leave it on there for the office. Good music for a day at work. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? It's never now. It's totally... I get... Has offices changed? Do people sit in the office and go, I've got high hopes for a living?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I guess. They play that woman.
That woman?
I can't stand her. I've talked about it on the show before. Things I don't get. I do not get the appeal of
Lizzo.
Adele.
Oh, I was going to say Lizzo.
No, they don't play Lizzo on my stations. I am aware that there is somebody named Lizzo who is a performer, but I don't know any of her music. I have no concept
I
of
just
this.
took a DNA test, turns out. She goes, I put the sing in single.
Oh, I put the sin in single?
Sing.
Oh, sing. Well,
I
sin's
put
better.
the sing in single. That's her.
Now,
that's her
I put
thing.
the sin in single's good. I put the sing in sing. I don't understand.
Because she's singing. She's singing.
But she's singing about how she's being single?
She's better
But
off
it's
single.
It's easy to be single. You just have to not date anybody. Finding somebody to be in a relationship with is the hard part. Trust me, I know.
No, I like Adele.
Yeah, why do you like Adele? Because I just don't get it. Is there something in your DNA, because your mother's the same way, that you like imagining that your life is sad?
Well, it's just like everything she's saying is so powerful and like.
But you could say the same thing about Celine Dion. You don't like her.
No, it's something about Adele. She's just hypnotizing. And
Adele, really?
She goes. If you're gonna let me down gently. All of her
If you're
songs.
gonna let me down gently. Don't.
And then,
I don't. If this was playing, I would know every word because of your mother. Then she goes, hello.
It's me.
It's me.
I was wondering if after all
these years you liked me. And
go
yeah,
over
like just what you want, a call from your ex-girlfriend saying, I'm still into you, even though you've moved on. Maybe we can get together and hash it out. That's the last thing anybody wants to do.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you.
Oh, boy.
I wish nothing but the best for you.
Don't forget me,
I swear I'll remember you saying sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.
What's interesting is that I can compare it to my childhood, where we would explain to my mother that no, Boy George is not the devil. He's just a funny performer who dresses weird. And now you explain to me some of these people, like, who's that horrible Hot Topic looking woman?
Billie Eilish.
I have no idea. I don't know her music. I've seen a single image of her with a tarantula in her mouth.
Yeah.
And guess what? That was enough for me. I don't need to see
I'm
anymore.
trying to think of any of the songs you know. She sings the I'm the bad guy. Duh.
No, I don't have any idea.
Or
Who plays this?
Or
What station is it on?
it's on 104.3 a lot.
No, couldn't tell you.
And
But here's the thing.
Ocean Eyes. She sings the Ocean Eyes song.
Ocean Eyes.
Uh-huh.
I know Hungry Eyes
And
by
she sings,
Eric Carmen.
I can't name
Yeah,
the
you don't
name
even
of
know.
it.
It's so catchy, you don't even know it.
No, it's I don't like her, so I don't listen
I
to her.
don't get it either. But here's the thing. Artists that I don't care for, because you like them, I now like them. Who am I talking about?
I don't know.
Who is your favorite singer of all time?
Taylor Swift?
I enjoy listening to Taylor Swift because it makes you happy. So by extension, I see what you get out of it, and I enjoy it. Even though that music's not for me.
But the difference is that Taylor Swift has made quality songs for like my entire life, and she's never once made a bad song. I'm sorry. If you are watching this and can tell me one bad song Taylor Swift has made, I won't believe you. They're all good.
They're all good.
I love
There's
her.
no lesser songs.
Well, yeah, some songs are way better than others. Like Blank Space is the best.
That's your
along with
song.
Blank Space and Love Story.
That's the one where she opens and she's like, I'm gonna talk like this. I'm saying things in a staccato way.
Yeah.
What is she saying?
Nice to meet you. Where you been? I can show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you there, and I thought, oh my God, look at that face. You look like my next mistake. I love that song.
Yeah, you look like my next mistake. You know what song I enjoyed at first years ago when your mother was listening to Taylor Swift? Because her lyrics are very catchy. She takes normal, not normal things. She takes things that happen normally to people and makes songs about them. I think You're Just Another Picture to Burn. That's a really clever song. You know, you're nothing special to me. You're just another picture to burn. That's clever. She's lasted a long
nodding.
time. Yeah, you're nodding, drinking your chocolate milkshake.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is at the top.
Yes.
And you like Blank Space and Look What You Made Me Do.
And Love Story.
Love
What about
Story.
Romeo and Juliet?
Yes.
That one's so pretty. I love that song.
You've liked that since you were very young.
Yes.
So it
See,
it
quality
literally
content
has
stays
been-
forever.
It's your whole life.
Yes, I've listened to her my entire life.
Your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating to me. And you've had brief dabblings in Katy Perry and Becky G.
One song by Becky G.
That's all.
Singing in the shower.
Does she have any more than
No. That's it.
that? Because she performed at Knott's, I got to see her sing that, and that was about it.
La-da-dee. Yeah, that one.
But you never were into like the Dixie Chicks or
No.
Lady Antebella.
I love Taylor Swift, and I like some Katy Perry songs. Like, I still think that California Girls is a good song.
Yeah,
And
that's a good song.
Last Friday Night,
Yeah.
I like that one, but that's about it. I don't really
I
like...
thought you liked that Fireworks song.
No, I dealt with Fireworks. Everybody else likes it. I think that song's kind of lame. It's like... I don't even know how it goes. How does it go?
Baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what is worth. Yeah.
Make him go.
Make him go, ah, ah, ah.
As you could shoot across the sky.
I always wonder when they write that, do they write the ah, ah, ah?
Yeah.
Because Morrissey has a song with the Smiths where he's talking about a train going by and he goes, it's such a sad sound. Lead-a-lo, lead-a-lo. Did you write lead-a-lo, lead-a-lo on the lyrics? I don't know. I don't know how it works. You like yodeling, kid.
A-la-da-dee, a-la-da-doo. All you do is sing la-dee-da-yo.
Oh my God.
I love that guy. Have you heard one of his songs? One of his oh
Do
my
they
God.
play it on K-Earth 101?
If I'm gonna be famous for something, I wanna be famous for loving you.
Oh my God.
That song, I genuinely like that song. I think it's good.
Oh my God.
What happened to him? He's dropped like a few good songs and he just like...
He got eclipsed by a kid singing about a baby shark.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do.
I don't know what that is. I've never watched that on YouTube.
Mommy shark do do do. It's a kid like hand song. You know, like those like hand games, like lemonade, iced tea. It's like that, but
like Where is Thumbkin? We have no idea what that is. You don't know Where is Thumbkin?
no, I don't know what you're talking
Where is Thumbkin? I love that some stuff just gets lost. Because this show began with me talking about how the bands that they play on the radio and the songs that they play of those bands are not indicative of their catalog. They have so many amazing good songs that never see the radio. And it's not because of rights, because at one point they were on the radio. They were part of rotation. Culture Club has more songs than Karma Chameleon. They do. And Do You
I
Really
love that
Wanna
song,
Hurt Me?
though.
I know, but they have more songs.
Or what's the one that's like? This might not be on your list, but I hear it all the time. It's the "We don't need no education."
It's Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I hear that one's on the radio all the time.
They play that song. Again, I will go back to my Guns N' Roses argument. The stations I listened to in the 80s, they would never have played Pink Floyd. That was for KMET. But KMET folded, so Pink Floyd was adopted. No. My brother once took me to that movie, The Wall. Oh, God. You can't have your meat until you finish your pudding. Or your pudding and your... oh, God. They play it every hour. Your mother likes that song, and I just can't deal with it.
Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. Yeah.
We don't need no education.
Those are like the only lyrics I know.
We don't need no thought control.
Is that what it's saying? Because I just know, hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. And
no,
we don't
you're
need
just another brick in the wall.
That song is, it's not music, it's talking.
It's something, it's putting on trial the English school system. Morrissey did the same thing with Headmaster's Ritual. A crack on the head is what you get for not asking, and a crack on the head is what you get for asking, right? Mm-hmm. But Morrissey, they only play How Soon Is Now. They don't play any other Smith songs on the radio. Prince, what Prince songs do they play on the radio? They play, 1999. Oh, God.
And they play, I can't think of it. What is that one?
Raspberry Beret.
No.
Kiss.
That one.
Yeah, they just play the same songs. He has other great songs that they just won't play. Michael Jackson. If I have to hear Billie Jean one more time or Beat It.
Or what's the one that Michael Jackson does like in the backgrounds of?
Oh, Rockwell. Somebody's watching me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but you know why they play that?
Watching me.
They only play that because he's
I got no privacy.
To be honest, they only played in the 80s because Michael Jackson sang backup and tried to help Rockwell out. But that made it a bona fide hit. But man, they play that song a lot. Mm-hmm. When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair. I might open my eyes and find someone standing there. Oh my God. It's the same song as Who Can It Be Now? Men at Work. Who can it be now?
I hate that song.
Who can it be?
Because whenever it's on the radio all the time, and it just puts me in a bad mood, and I can't explain why.
Because
something about the sound is just like, who can it be now? It's like,
It's because they play it too much. Men at Work has more. They play Who Can It Be Now? And You Come From a Land Down Under. That's all they play. And they have just as big hits. They could play Johnny. They could play It's a Mistake. Yeah, they have other songs. They just don't play them, man. But here's the deal. There's a hierarchy. The bigger the band, the more songs they get. They don't get a lot, but Michael Jackson gets a lot because he's the big one, right? Mm-hmm. But some of the lesser bands get one. Doesn't matter if that's their hit, they get one. Duran Duran gets 2 or 3. Culture Club gets 2 or 3. Some bands get 0. Jane Whelan, Rush Hour, big song, no play. Swing Out Sister, Breakout, never played on the radio. George Michael, if I have to hear Careless Whisper and Everything She Wants.
Oh, okay, wait. Careless Whisper is so good, though.
I know, but
Careless Whisper.
It's good. How old are you, Josie?
14.
I have been slow dancing to Careless Whisper since it came out 35 years ago. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm.
Oh, I love that song. I'm going to listen to that right now.
Pretend I know you're not a fool. Should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste this chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Oh, oh. But they play it all the time.
But that's one of those ones that will never get old. I'm sorry.
I should probably do a whole episode on George Michael and Wham, because you know me, I was a big fan of that guy. I went to his concert. There were other ways. I think Freedom and I'm Your Man and Your Mother's Song. You remember Club Tropicana where they're in their little Speedos? Mm-hmm. Club Tropicana, the drinks are free. And Bad Boys, Stick Together, Never.
Oh yeah. Are they the ones that sing the Last right? No.
Yeah, Last Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their. It was just remastered. Yeah, it sounds great. Last Christmas, I gave you my
Taylor Swift did a cover of that.
The very next day, you gave. It's a good song, and I like George Michael, but the lyrics are nonsensical. So for Christmas, he said, I love you, and the next day, she broke his heart. That's a quick romance.
Well, yeah.
How was he so into her in a day?
Well, he didn't...
I've seen the video. She's hot, but it's only been a day.
No, he's been in love with her for forever.
And he just told her on Christmas.
Yeah, and she rejected him. So he was like, you know what? I'll move on to someone better.
All right, well, thank you for this trip down Radio Lane. I'm Jeff Tucker. I am with...
I'm me. Come see my show.
Come see Matilda. And this is...
91 Reasons.
Caller 20 wins right now.
Thanks for listening to 91 Reasons. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. Is anyone even still listening?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.